You have so many different ways to protect yourself now. So you don't have to rely on all the old ways you used to rely on, the methods that your inner child, your child self, your younger self used to rely on to keep yourself safe. Now you have found different ways to protect yourself, so many different ways. And I'm going to elucidate a couple of those for you, okay? So, yesterday we were talking about, you know, it's not a good look to be suppressing your anger, even though it might have been something you learned to do to feel safe, to keep yourself safe. You saw things that angered you and you just, but now you have your anger. And anger doesn't have to be loud. In fact, I think you're finding that like your silence is also a very powerful way to protect yourself, something that, you haven't exercised so much. You've been afraid to, if you're silent, you know, um, how will you get your needs met? And I think you're figuring it out. So, yeah, silent anger, ooh, a simmering anger. You don't even have to say anything, and people are like, oh, okay, let me come differently. That's powerful. And that's the power you have now. Okay, so you can use your anger. You can also, maybe you learned that to protect yourself, you have to keep your thoughts to yourself. You have to, not speak up, not say anything, be quiet, don't speak until spoken to. And so now you recognize that you can protect yourself by speaking your mind, speaking up, speaking out, all ways to protect yourself. Really powerful. I am finding more and more like, whoa, it's yeah, an emergent property to it. It's more powerful than you realize, okay? Speaking. But also silence is a way to protect yourself. And by that I kind of mean not explaining yourself. Your old way, you're used to someone being like, "Hey, where were you?" Or someone being like, "Why are you doing that?" And now you're just silent. People expect a response from you and they expect you to answer them. They expect you to explain it to them, to make them understand how you move. But now, the new, evolved, upgraded, ascended version of you lets your silence do the talking. You've been practicing using your voice and speaking up for yourself, and now you're practicing your silence. You're seeing that your voice is incredibly powerful and your silence is even more powerful. But people are like, what is that earth angel doing? Like, I haven't heard from them in a while. It's scary. When parents are like, they have kids and they're like, it's too quiet. What's going on? Something's up. And that's like you. They don't know what you're cooking up. They feel like you're simmering. They're just like, I don't know. Let me leave her alone. And that's how you keep yourself safe. By just doing you, being silent, not feeling the urge to explain and make people understand. That might have been something you used to do to feel safe, to protect yourself, explain yourself. You're like, if I can explain, logic my way and give them a reason and make them understand why I'm acting this way, then I will be safe. But you don't do that anymore. You see how powerful you are. You don't have to explain. The powerful don't have to explain themselves. They just act, they just exist, and people are like, okay, well, that's how it is. People adapt to the person who is standing their ground, who is being silent, who is letting their silence do the talking. Ooh, and it's killing them. Oof, oof. They're not used to that. They're used to you, like, they're used to demanding an answer from you and you being like, oh, well, I was doing this and this. And now that you're just like, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. That's okay. They'll figure it out. Your job is to protect yourself. So I love that. And yeah, it'll get easier each time. The discomfort of like knowing that someone wants you to fill the silence and you don't do that. Ooh, that's so scary. And it makes people explain themselves. It's a technique that the cops use and psychologists and some teachers and stuff. You not saying anything it produces this tension that people want to relieve, and they often relieve it by them speaking, them revealing themselves. Ooh, powerful. So, on that note, another way that you have found to protect yourself is disobedience. Of course, when you grew up, maybe you learned that being obedient, doing what your parents say, doing what your teachers say, doing what everyone around you says, doing what they expect of you, that's the way to keep yourself safe. But now you see, oof, the power of refusal, the art of refusal, the art of being like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. And not explaining. Ooh, the power of refusal coupled with the power of silence. Oof, they truly don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. So they're going to back off and find an easier target because it's not you, babe. Your mission is too great and you are too in the know. You can't be shaken. You're untouchable and they know it. Got them shaking in their boots, baby. Okay? So, yeah, you no longer have to just go along with what everyone else says. In fact, that is what is going to keep you stuck, keep you unsafe, keep you afraid, keep you easy to control, doing things you don't want to do. But we're not doing that anymore. So, being disobedient, refusal, just doing what you want. And what you want to do, might want to do, is rest, relax. That's a way that you found to protect yourself. You maybe used to protect yourself by always moving. And maybe it was hard for you to fall asleep because you're like, oh, let me keep like thinking about the things I have to do and the schedules and the planning and, sleep when you're dead. And you're like, oh, you feel weird taking a nap. You feel like, you feel a lot of pride in being able to like, I only slept 4 hours last night. Ooh, like now you recognize the power of rest. You understand how divine and godly and magical rest can be. In the Abrahamic religions, or at least in Christianity, like when God had finished creating the universe, the world, what do? He rested. And so God's rest, that's how a God protects themselves. They know everything's done. They know there's nothing that needs to happen. So they rest. There's no danger. They're the God. They're in charge of everything. Nothing can harm them. Nothing can touch them. Nothing can shake them off their game. So they can rest. You can relax. That's how you protect yourself now. You grew up doing this, and maybe you come from a long line of people who used productivity to feel safe, to feel protected. They're like, oh, as long as I'm working, then I can have some sense of control. And is that actually true? Who are you working for? What are you running from? There's so much power that comes in resting and in relaxing. That's such a power move. People are confused because everyone else is so stressed and rushing around and being productive and doing all this stuff. And you're just like chilling. You're relaxed. And they're like, what the hell does she know that I don't know? Why is she so relaxed right now? She must know something that we don't know. And so I'm just going to like let her do her thing, man. And they're just going to keep rushing around. Everyone else is overworking for you. So you don't have to overwork. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Like you're someone who gets shit done. Okay. So you might have like to feel safe, you would always be making sure you were doing something. You were responding to some task. You were taking care of something. But you were so good at that. Now you are someone who just gets things done. And so all the things that needed to get done are done. And so you don't want to redouble your efforts. That's just going to start to drain you. So now you got to get comfortable, relaxing. It's done. You did it. Okay? Ooh, who are you if you're not always completing tasks? If you're not always getting things done? I'll tell you, you're still safe. You're safer, in fact. It's a powerful, energetic frequency, being in relaxation, being in this state of completion. Yeah, it's already done. Okay, what else did I write down? Ooh, Stillness. That's kind of related to the same thing. Oh, I must have like written these down kind of as they came to me because I'm so brilliant. Okay, stillness. We are taught to like, like it's kind of like I see like an animal that's like always moving around and never, has time to rest. That's a prey animal. They're always moving. They're fast. They're quick because they got to be able to escape the predator. They have a light sleep cycle, so they can wake really easily. Just in case they hear a noise, they can get away. Lions, they sleep 15 hours a day, not because they're lazy, because they're efficient, because they don't need to be vigilant. Who's sneaking up on a lion? Okay. So they can rest. These, rich powers that were, they're relaxed. I mean, they engage in a lot of leisure. They don't have to spend their time doing stuff and working and doing these things. They've got it. So they can relax, they can rest, they can chill. And so can you. Conversely, paradoxically, because we are just masters of the paradox, stillness is a way to keep yourself safe. Oh, also with silence. I used to, we're all people like music is such a powerful tool. Like listening to other people give messages, very powerful. But there's also so much power in silence and just being in your own energy, listening to just whatever sounds come up. That's how spirit comes through when you're silent, when you're not distracted by the noise of everyday life. Oof, and we'll get back to that, but like that is another way to keep yourself safe, okay? Oof, all the value and powerful information that drops in when you're silent, when you're still. Okay. So, um you can also protect yourself though by moving around. Back to the paradox. We're taught, oh, if we're quiet and we don't fidget and we don't like move around, then we'll be good and we'll be safe and our parents will approve of us and we'll get, good marks and they'll, reward us and praise us. But now, this evolved version of you has power in moving around, freedom of movement. And when you lose this thing, the power to move, you see what a power it is. You see how the ability to move around protects you, keeps you safe. I'm also someone who, I'm just very in touch with the universe and the messages of spirit. So it drops in when I'm sleeping, it drops in when I'm resting, it drops in when I'm relaxing, and it drops in when I'm moving around, when my heart rate is moving, when my vessel is moving, when I'm in my body. Powerful shit comes from that. Okay. Kind of already talked about this, but it bears repeating. You might have found a lot of felt safe when you were being productive. As long as you're earning your keep, you are able to receive safety, whatever. So now you realize, because I'm telling you, how you can protect yourself by being unproductive. Ooh, I know it sounds scary, but like, trust me, it's a big power move. Being like, I don't have to work. I don't have to do anything. Let me think. What's the Queen of England? Unproductive. A drain on society, actually. Just a story that keeps everyone in the UK bankrolling her, putting her on money, God save her, like giving her well wishes, and she not doing nothing. That's pretty powerful. One of my favorite icon Disney princesses, Sleeping Beauty. Literally, she like pricks her finger, gets cast under a spell, goes to sleep, and then everybody else solves the problems of the movie. I think maybe there's like a witch, someone fights the witch, someone breaks the curse, and all she does is like take a nap. Her dream lover kisses her when all the stuff is over, and they name the movie after her. Oof! Icon. Iconic. I love that. How powerful. And that's you. Ooh. Oof. You know what just came to me? The Israelis. Unproductive. Literally being bankrolled by the Americans. Literally a bunch of racist, ignorant babies. Child soldiers. A drain on the collective, on our species. And yet, thriving. Crazy. But, you know, such is the universe. Really doesn't make sense. Okay, play. We have been taught kind of maybe if we're serious about stuff, oh, and we're serious and we take things seriously, that is a way to protect ourselves. But I don't know. The people who are making the most money are playing. The athletes, the actors playing a role, the people playing the stock market. Play. It's a game. And that is how you're going to keep yourself safe. Ooh, one of my favorite movies, not one of my favorite movies, but I used to really like it, called Life is Beautiful. And this guy gets him and his son through the Holocaust in Europe by pretending it's a game. Like making him think like, oh, the guards, they're just playing. And like, we're all little lollipops. And I love that. I think that's so brilliant. And actually, the way I got through and out of my Matrix job, I made it into a game. I realized it was easy, stupid, made up busy work. And so I was like, it's like Candy Crush. I'm just like, boop, boop, doo doo doo. I don't take it seriously. And so it's easy for me. And it was perfect. And that's a really brilliant idea. Okay. You might have kept yourself safe previously by like just sticking at something, doing something over and over, no matter what, no matter if you liked it or not, you just kept doing it. You were resilient, you were persistent. And now you protect yourself by quitting. You know when to quit. That is so powerful. You harness the power of separation. You harness the power of being able to pivot. You no longer subscribe to the sunk cost fallacy. You understand that just because you've been doing something a long time does not mean you're supposed to keep doing it. In fact, it's the opposite. You have done it for such a long time. You're like, I don't need to do this anymore. I've tried it. It didn't work. Quit, pivot, redirect, recreate yourself. That's the key, okay? So power of quitting. Now you protect yourself by quitting. Pivoting, yes, separation. Go back and watch some of my other episodes because I like talk about some of these individually, but you know, these are all ways that you now protect yourself. Ah, I love that. Okay. You might have used to protect yourself by sticking with the group, by safety in numbers. But now you understand how to protect yourself by being alone. You see, like, actually everyone is going in the wrong direction. Everyone is just like standing in line to like go into a gas chamber. And you're like, I'm gonna just do my own thing. I'm gonna be disobedient. I'm gonna not do what people tell me to do. And if I have to do it alone, okay, even better. That's how I know it's something I should probably do. If all these other idiots are thinking to do this thing and they have to do it together, I'm gonna do it alone. If I think it's best and no one else is like, yeah, it's best, I'm still gonna do it because I'm the ultimate authority. You're doing that too. And that is the right thing to do. I love it. The power of being alone. Oh my gosh. Brilliant. Okay. You might have felt safe growing up by being unseen. If people can't see you, you know, if they don't, you know what you've done, then you're safe. Now though, you protect yourself by being seen. What is it? Butterflies, poisonous snakes, honey badgers. They are all very visible in nature, whereas other things, you know, they try to blend in with the surroundings. Some things, though, they are so powerful, and like if you take it on in a fight, it doesn't matter if you can see it. In fact, they're like, you better see me see me coming from a mile away and make yourself scarce. Get away. And that's what you're doing. Your power is in your visibility. The more people can see you, the safer you are. No one's going to come and attack you when everybody can see you. There's all these witnesses. Power of visibility. That's how you're keeping yourself safe now. Okay. Conversely, paradoxically, also though, being unseen. We talked about this in other episodes. Being in stealth mode. The powers that were, these governments, they spend so much money on surveillance because they understand the value of being able to see you and see what you're doing. And so you understand the value of not being seen, of being unseen, of people wondering what you're doing, of being mysterious. Ooh, people are afraid of it. I love it though. This is like, we've been talking about this whole time, but like, you might have used to get feel safe, feel protected by fitting in, by trying to be like everyone else, trying to be, what everyone else wants you to be. And now you protect yourself by being and doing differently than others. You're different. You're different for a reason. You're different because you're supposed to be showing us how it's done. You're not supposed to be being ashamed of your differences and trying to hide all your differences to be like everyone else. Your power is in being you. Your power is in being different. And you are giving yourself the freedom and the support that you need to feel comfortable being different more and more. And it's paying off. I love that for you. Okay. So these are all kind of the same things. They're on the same vein, but like, we've been taught, we're in this very male-centered masculine world where we're taught to kind of prioritize masculine things that men value, like in sports and, being tough and like war. And now you protect yourself by embracing your femininity. Ooh. Okay. You're embracing your sexiness. You're embracing your creativity. You're embracing your mysteriousness. You're embracing your intuition. The masculine way that the powers that were used to do things was very like logical, hyper logical. And we base everything on reason and logic. But like, that's why we had slavery. That's why we have holocausts. That's why we still have holocausts. That's why we're all trapped in wage slavery. That's why all of these pedophiles are in charge of everything, right? Because there's a logic to it. There's a sunk cost fallacy, tradition. Everyone else has been doing it. We haven't seen something different. So there's a logic to how we do things now. And now you are leaning into how your intuition is actually there to protect you more so than your logic. Your logic is there to like make you feel comfortable, but your intuition transcends your logic. Your intuition is connected to source, spirit, like all. So that's actually the thing you should rely on. And that's actually the thing that the powers that were want you to be afraid of. They want you to think it's feminine, it's unreliable. It's like, well, you can't, what's the reason? Can you give me the like logic of it? No, it transcends logic. It's bigger than logic. And thus it's more powerful. And so now you are leaning more into your intuition, getting to trust it, even when it's scary. Powerful. Okay. And then finally, let me get out of here. Being woo-woo, okay? Connected to, like we used to try to be more masculine, be more logical, do it the way that like other people have said we have to do it. But now you are embracing your woo-woo side, babe. You are in touch with your spirituality. You are recognizing your position as a spiritual authority, as a bridge between the celestial realms and the physical ones. We do not live in a time where they are burning witches. We don't live in a time where, I don't know, they do anything bad to people doing magic. We actually love magicians, like the like Vegas magicians like make a lot of money, like magic is all around us. So like the being able to speak and say words and make music that cause physical changes in people, cause people to act differently than they otherwise would, makes them cry, makes them laugh. That's magic, baby. That's woo woo, okay? And I think everyone else is waiting for permission to exercise this side of us. We've seen how far logic can take us, and we're all still very unsafe. We're all still very unprotected. And so now you are leaning on spirit. You're walking by faith and not by sight. You are trusting your intuition, your inner knowing, your woo woo side. Ooh, woo woo. Woo woo woo. We love it. All right. I actually got through everything I had on this list, and I have a lot of things. I mean, you just heard it. So, anyway, let me know what you think, okay? Because you have so many different ways to protect yourself, and they might be unfamiliar, but and your nervous system craves familiarity, repetition, and so you just gotta practice. You just got to do it over and over again. And then it will be familiar and then it will be easy. And you're just going to be, oh my God, you're going to be so pleased by, ooh, burped, confirmation burp. You're just going to be so pleased by how everything comes together. It's brilliant. I'm so impressed with you. You're leveling up. You're being so brave. You're being so devoted, and it's paying off. I love this world we're creating. This old world is crumbling. The old figures, the powers that were, they hate it, but we love it. Spirit loves it. I love it. I love you. Let me know what you think in the comments, okay? Like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't, go back and watch some of my other ones. Would love to have you on the team, on the squad. So, I love you so much. That's all I got to say. I delivered the message. And I'll talk to you, Earth Angels, later, okay? Love you. Bye.